Are L15 swaps good? Is Honda even worth modifying anymore, or are Hondas worth modifying? So, I had a 1993 Acura Integra for many years, okay? I had this car for like almost 6 years. I used to love Hondas. I loved DA Integras. I loved DC Integras, EG Civics, EF Civics, CRX, same thing, EK Civics, RSXs, all that kind of stuff. TSX. I had a 6-speed Acura TSX. I had a CB7 Accord. I loved all that stuff. Preludes, H22s, Ks, Bs. Loved it, okay? I had a B16 transmission at one point in my Integra. It was lowered, all that kind of stuff. I was obsessed with Honda and Mugen and Spoon and all this stuff. Loved it. Loved Honda performance. Loved everything about it. I loved the whole the whole era of Formula One with Honda in the late 80s, early 90s. It just, I mean, it really resonated with me, and I loved the brand. And I see, L15 swaps. There's a couple people who have swapped them into older chassis like an EK. And I gotta say, for me personally, what I'm trying to say is people are talking about L15s in the future of mods because Ks will get rare. Look, if you ask me personally, this is just my opinion. Obviously, people are, subject to their own. I don't think Honda is the same brand anymore. I think after around the 9th generation Civic Si, they fell off. I don't think they're the same brand anymore. I don't really even see the point personally in modifying them anymore. This is just my opinion. There's the only Honda that's modern, that's a non-9th gen Si that I would even purchase beyond that is a Fit and manual. But I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm a naturally aspirated fanboy. So when they started going to turbos, it does nothing for me. I like 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 RPM wailing with short gear ratios, sounding like a sport bike. I love that. I love the Formula One influence. I love the high compression, high revving. I love that. Like a DC2R, EK9, that is the pinnacle to me of Honda. DC5R, K20A, CL7, CL9, that to me is the peak of Honda. And I think it hit its peak at the K series, TSX, 8th generation Civic SIs, DC5s, and all the JDM counterparts. I think that was where Honda performance peaked. I don't think that, this is my personal opinion, but turbo Hondas, look, people can do whatever they want modifying a car, okay? Don't do what I say. This is just my opinion, all right? I just think turbo Hondas are like sacrilege. Like, to me, I just don't like it. I don't like the way turbos sound. I know they're impressive. I know turbo cars are generally speaking faster and make more power than naturally aspirated, but Honda performance has always been about NA to me. So I don't see the redeeming qualities in the L15 and the newer, and like even K20C. You can call me closed-minded. I just don't like it. I don't think they're going to hold up. I've seen people, I've heard of people blowing them up beyond a certain power threshold relatively easily, as where you have people making pretty damn good power out of a D16, Y8, D16 Z6, D16 Y7 or whatever stock, and not blowing up. So I just think Honda performance-wise kind of fell off. I don't think they're the same brand anymore. I just don't. I think in general, modified cars are falling out of popularity. Sports cars don't even sell anymore. The youth of today isn't even interested, apart from street takeover culture, in modified vehicles. I don't think they're not even making sports cars like that. And if they are, they're $50,000 and $60,000. They don't sell all that well. I think the days of sports cars and performance are largely in North America over with. That's my opinion again. I don't think those swaps are worth doing. I just honestly see Honda falling off in terms of performance and modification. It doesn't do it. It's lost the spice. They've lost their mojo to me in terms of their appeal. Those motors have more reliability problems. Honda is not as reliable as it once was. Like these brands, a lot of them now, I'm going to switch hands, are riding off their reputation from the late 80s and the early 90s, mid 90s, late 90s. The reason everybody says Hondas are the best is because of like 1988 Accords, 1992 Accords, 92 Civics, 95 Civics. Okay, that's why people say they're so reliable, is because of those F22s, B18s, okay, D16s, okay, ZCs, all that kind of stuff, H22s, although those have issues with oil consumption. But that's why people say Hondas are reliable, is because of their reputation that was established in the 80s and the 90s and to about 2005-06. Any of the engine, I mean, they kind of really fell off after like 2010. But the fit was still pretty cool, but they discontinued it. They're just, to me, I just don't see the future of Honda performance being there. I think people are going to keep doing the old chassis, but are L15 swaps going to be widespread? I don't know. I don't really think so. I don't think cars are really, modern vehicles you can't even modify as easily as you once could anyway. There's so many like electronic controls and just emission stuff. It's just not the same. It's not the same. I think the days of performance in North America for the newer stuff largely is coming to an end. I guarantee you in the next 10 to 20, you're going to see mostly electric and stuff. And also the CAFE and the EPA laws are so strict now. This is why everything is turbo. Okay, it's not because it's better. Honda did, I mean, all these cars are not turbo now because it's a better setup. They're turbo because they can't produce a naturally aspirated 2.0 or 1.8 that makes 200. They got to make a 1.5 and slap a turbo on it to make the same power that an NA 2.0 used to make, because the government regulation is squeezing them into, they can't produce cars. And notice all these cars are blowing up. All these turbo cars are blowing up. So I don't think any modern car is going to be that reliable. They're not, I don't personally, I know I'm going off on a tangent a little bit here, but I just don't see any of the modern vehicles lasting like 300,000 miles anymore. I feel like they're going to be shot out at like 150. So that's my opinion. I'm sure you're going to see those swaps here and there in the future. People say, oh, if you don't adapt, you'll get left behind. But look at it from a large scale. The performance market's dying. Like, look at Nissan. Like, I mean, look at what they're doing. They used to have so many performance models. And look what they got now. The Z, I mean, is that it? Like, I mean, nothing comes in manual anymore. So it's like, I just don't see, beyond Honda, I don't see performance stuff as a whole being that relevant in the next 10 years. I truly don't. I could be wrong. And if I am wrong, I'll change my mind with new information presented. I'm not that close-minded, but that's what I think. Later.